started talking to James.
That was
Morning,
me.
dude.
Yep.
All right. It looks like we got a good crowd here, so I'm going to get started. So, hello, and welcome to this Clients on Demand workshop, where I'm going to show you how to attract and activate customers who still need your services and products, even in today's unpredictable and competitive market. So, I'm Mark Whitaker. I'm the owner of Whitmark Digital, which is a digital marketing agency in the eastern suburbs of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So I want to share with you some insights. If I can get my screen to work, there we go. Some insights that I've seen lately that are going to help you attract more people into your world and turn them into conversions. So let's jump right in. A lot of what I've been hearing and just talking to small business owners is that some of them feel like things are a little bit slower right now. People aren't finding them the way they used to in the past. Some people have been saying they've been doing stuff online, but it's not working as well as it used to, and it's frustrating. And they're trying everything they know how to do. I've also heard people say that they do have sales opportunities with some people, and sales leads are coming in, but after they take them through the sales process, those leads just don't come back. They ghost them, and they're not giving good reasons as to why they're not moving forward. So the combination of those things can lead a lot of people to feel like they've hit a dead end. Leads have slowed down. Not many people are finding you, trying to do stuff and it's not working. And even the people that you do end up talking to, it's harder to get them to move forward. So what we really want is we want to be found by the right people, right? We want those ideal prospects and leads to come into our world. So we also want marketing that actually works. I know a lot of small business owners that would love to invest in digital marketing, but they just can't find the right service provider or the right tactic or the right strategy in order for them to understand that it's really working and it's getting them the result they want. Also, we want buyers, not browsers. We don't want those tire kickers that tend to waste our time. They're not really interested in buying, and you're having to do a lot of convincing that they need what you're selling. Buyers are the people who are hot. They're ready. They know what they need and they value you, and they're ready to move forward with the services you provide. So, question right now, which of those excites you the most? Is it being found by the right people? Is it marketing that actually works? Or is it just getting in front of more buyers who are not tire kickers? Why don't you put something in the chat? Which of those three where it gets you most excited? Number one is just being found by the right people. Number two is marketing that actually works that you're willing to invest in. Or is it number three, getting you in front of actual buyers rather than tire kickers? Seeing all three, somebody doesn't want the tire kickers. Number three, number one, marketing that actually works. The right audience instead of other marketers. I hear you there, Keith. Buyers, buyers, buyers. Okay. So if you're looking for one of those three things or all of them, you're in the right spot because what we're covering today is three secrets that are going to help you attract and activate customers who will need your services and products, even in today's unpredictable market. So the first secret is that now is the time to attract clients and customers. And there are still tons of opportunity to do that. I'm going to prove it to you. The second secret is there's a real reason that nobody's buying from you or that more people aren't buying from you. So if you feel like you're slower than you felt in the past, that sales aren't as easy as they were, there are some key reasons that might be happening. And I'm going to walk you through those, see which ones are currently impacting your business. And the third secret is how to find clients and customers who want your services and products right now. There are people out there who are looking for the exact thing, product or service that you sell. They're not just getting it from you. And so we want to be able to tap into that. And I'm going to show you how you're able to do that effectively with strategies that are working today. So I love this quote here from Roger Crawford. He's a motivational speaker who was a Division I tennis player back in the 60s with disabilities that affected all four of his limbs. He said, being challenged in life is inevitable. Being defeated is optional. So, there are seasons in business where things are going great, right? And you're loving your business and it seems to be effortless and you're in the flow. But that's often followed by seasons where it's like, gosh, I'm getting beat up here. Um, things are not going the way I want. No matter what I try, it doesn't seem to work out well. And so the key thing in this statement here is that being defeated is optional. And just the fact that you're here tells me that you're committed to your business's success. I'll tell you that one of the things I've learned through some challenging times in business is that challenge breeds opportunity. On the opposite side of the challenges that we face have been some of the best seasons in business that I have and many of us have experienced. And that's proven itself over and over. So if you're feeling challenged right now, if you're feeling like, gosh, this isn't as easy as it used to be, then guess what? You're right on the brink of getting back into the flow and being able to have a business that's supported you the way it has in the past. And so, there are two relatively recent challenges that I faced, which might be similar to some of the challenges you faced. The first one was the recession of 2008, 2009. That was the housing crisis, a lot of financial uncertainty. It's also when the economy took a wrecking ball to the newspaper industry and I lost my job. And what followed, though, was a pivot into digital marketing at a time when businesses were looking for online marketing help. I spent nearly 10 years gaining all kinds of experience working with a startup agency. The second challenge, of course, that affected all of us was the COVID-19 pandemic that started in 2020. That also led to a job loss for me and the decision to launch my own business. Now, the uncertainty that created COVID, or the uncertainty of COVID, created two kinds of business owners. Those who opted to wait it out, expecting that things would eventually return to normal. Anybody feel like things are normal post-COVID? We also saw businesses who doubled down. They were doing everything they could to make their businesses work. And I'll tell you that the people who did that probably experienced lots of blessings in disguise, right? Because it was those shifts that they needed to make in their business to survive during that time that actually made their businesses stronger when things got better. And so this forced me to make some changes. And some of those changes are what led me to the training, insights, and guidance that I'm going to share with you here today. So buckle up. I hope you're ready for that. Let's talk about who this is for. If you're looking to fill your sales pipeline with new opportunities, maybe that pipeline is feeling a little drier than it's felt in the past. You want to see a nice, healthy pipeline. This is for you. Maybe you want to figure out which customers are actually looking to buy from you right now. This is also for you. You might want to tap into past customers to rescue clients from buying from your competitors, right? Maybe there are a lot of people who used to work with you. Now, for some reason, they've moved on or they've stopped buying or they're buying from somebody else. And if you could reach back into those people, that would be amazing for your business. Or maybe you're just trying to find a new way to get in front of customers that need you, but aren't looking yet. That's huge. People who are looking for you because they're great leads, because they may not be ready to buy right now, but they are people who could use your help when they finally are ready to look for it. We'll take a deep dive into those passive prospects as well. So which of these do you feel like are most needed by your business right now? Is it just that you need more people in your pipeline? Um, is it figure out which people need the help today? You're trying to tap back into past customers, or um, just looking for a way to get in front of people who aren't looking for you today, but could use your help. So pick a number, put it in the chat. Let's see where you are. 2 and 4 from Shannon. Number 1 from Sandy. 1 from James. Adam likes almost all of them. This is great. I appreciate your participation here. Lisa says 2, 3, and 4. That's great. Thank you. So even if you need just one of these, you're in the right place at exactly the right time. But just in case we haven't met, and I do know many of you here in the room, and I appreciate that. My name's Mark Whitaker. I started Whitmark Digital about 4 years ago to help local businesses understand and use digital marketing to grow customer activity. So a little bit about me. I have more than 25 years of online media and marketing experience. I have some local trusted clients like Walker's Pet Hotel here in North Versailles. And I work in other parts of the country too. Ties to Pine Main Vacation Rentals is a longtime client. Altogether, though, with my agency experience previously and my work with Whitmark Digital, I've worked with a couple hundred local business clients over the years. Since 2021, I've published a fortnightly email newsletter about online marketing. And my first career was in newspapers. I spent 30 years as a reporter and editor, and finally online director for a couple of newspaper companies. So I'm also a part of Agency Coach, which is a collective of digital agencies around the world who get together to share best practices. So it's not like I'm just sort of tucked away here in Pittsburgh, trying to figure out everything on my own. I'm meeting with other agencies just like mine and talking about strategies that are working today, what's not working, what should we start doing, what should we stop. And it's really been invaluable to understand all of these different agencies and owners who are trying to achieve the same thing, which is to help their clients get more customer activity. Customers and leads, they're the lifeblood of every business, and when we can help them achieve that, we have a real impact on our clients, and that's important to us. Ultimately, it's my ideas plus the ideas that I've learned from this collective and mastermind that have led to the strategies and things we're going to talk about today. So who's ready to dive into the training and get through all this intro stuff? I really want to get into the meat right now, and hope you're excited. If you are, drop a me in the chat. Give me some dollar signs in there if you're ready to get going. Thanks, guys. So let's start talking about secret number 1. Now is the time to attract customers and clients, and there's still lots of opportunities to do it. I'm hearing a lot of people are saying there's just not much ability to get customers right now. Leads have slowed down, customer activity has slowed down, people aren't buying the way they used to. I hear this a lot, and what I'm seeing really is the opposite. When we start to look at trends and news online, we see that internet traffic is up, visibility is up, people are using the internet more than ever. So out there looking for things and then trying to solve problems, right? And if you pair that with the business's desire to be online and the necessity to be online, a lot of these customers are forcing more and more businesses to rely on online strategies to meet them where they are. And maybe some of the strategies you used in the past aren't working like they used to. Maybe being in the phone book doesn't work anymore. Some traditional marketing like newspapers, TV, or radio aren't working like they used to. But that's because a lot of it is shifting online. If you aren't shifting and adapting with that, that may be one of the reasons why you're feeling a slowdown. And that's okay because we're going to share with you all the different things that are working now. So you might be able to fill in some gaps and maybe swap out some of the strategies that you've been relying on in the past. And I'm catching up on slides that I forgot to push the button for. So is any of this surprising? That there are more people searching online and there are more businesses shifted to focus online? Well, it's certainly not surprising to me, and I doubt it's surprising to many of you. I use the internet more and more to solve problems and to meet my needs. And more people are doing that, and businesses are just making it easier to solve problems online. But I still hear, yeah, that might be true, but in my industry, it's not. It's just leads have slowed down and things aren't happening. So I did a little bit of research using Google Trends, a website that lets you look at search volume for particular keywords over time. Now, this isn't old data. This is as close to real time as Google can get. You can search Google Trends yourself and have a look at a date range and say, give me a graph that shows what search volume looks like for a particular keyword. So now I'm going to show you what it looks like when your consumers lose interest in a product or service. You can see this one really took a big dive. Who would like to guess what search term I put in that looked like this? The search term, well, geez, from 2004 to 2008, there were lots of people looking. Then all of a sudden, nobody wanted anything to do with this anymore. Anybody guess what it is? Oh, come on, not one guess? Blockbuster. That's the answer. So we all know that story. They got wiped out by Netflix by not responding to the online streaming stuff as fast as they could, right? They kept the in-store model where you had to go down to the store, pick up a DVD, rent the DVD, and then you had to take it back. And it just became inconvenient when somebody found a better way to do it, and everybody shifted to that. So Blockbuster went under. It was one of the big businesses that just really missed out. And I wanted to show you this because this is what Google Trends looks like when people are no longer looking for a business or a service. So let's look at some other ones. This is HVAC. So we're actually seeing more people looking for that service right now. When we have plumbers, they're up. Lawyers, more searches. Dentists, we have an upward trend. Pool cleaning. Okay, there's some seasonality here for this service, but it sure doesn't look like Blockbuster, and it doesn't slide off the scale because nobody's looking for it anymore. You see the same trend with pool building. There's window replacements, looking up. Furniture is kind of steady. And I mean, as I was going through here, I was just trying to pull different types of businesses, products, home services that made sense that might fit into some of your businesses. There's car dealerships, fire shops. So the story is true over and over again that while you might feel like things have slowed down, it's not because people have stopped looking for you. It's because you're not doing the other steps required to get in front of that audience. So it seems clear that the opportunity to sell goods and services still exists. The issue is that many businesses are not positioning themselves to take advantage of it. And most of them are telling themselves a story that people are not looking for them and they're not seeking their services anymore. They're imagining a blockbuster curve that doesn't exist. So if you're feeling like that, then it's time to choose a new story. So check this out. This is what it looks like when something comes out of nowhere and is now generating a ton of interest. Anyone want to guess what goes with this graph? Oh, Lisa, right on the mark. It's AI. The hot new thing to talk about. Everybody wants to talk about AI, and there's lots of searches are happening for it. I just wanted to show you that example because it's clear to see the trends in search for hot topics or for dead topics. I mean, you could see the trends. So I hope you see there's opportunity out there, And now is the time to take advantage of it. So staying on top of marketing is super important. And it's also super hard. We see small businesses who understand digital marketing is important, but they just don't have the time to stay on top of it. Nearly half of them are flying blind and not really know where their marketing is working. They clearly want to invest in marketing, but they don't know what to invest in. And there are so many options out there, it's hard to choose. And even when they do, they just don't know if it's working or not. They're so busy focusing on their businesses. So what does all this add up to? Well, if there's more internet traffic and there's increased opportunity and searches are growing strong, and it's never been easier to reach your customer, this creates a perfect storm to where your business could be in the spotlight right now. And it's an awesome time for your business to exist. So don't look back and wish that you had taken advantage of this opportunity or that you had told yourself stories about why your business failure was failing. Instead, choose a story that there's lots of opportunity out there and position yourself to take advantage of it. So this is the best time in the history of the world to grow your business. We have so many different ways to get in front of a captive and active audience. That's looking for all the things you have. So let's jump in with hope and with certainty, and it's time to get loud. Make some noise and let people know that you're here, so you're not drowning in the noise of everyone else. Standing out so people can find you and do business with you is the key. So maybe it's time to be flexible, and it's time to try things you've ignored and to start being a customer magnet. Gone are the days when you could be a customer, we could just not do anything, and by luck, your business was great. People were just coming to you and you didn't really need to try very hard. Maybe those times have changed. Maybe you need to try a little bit harder now, or at least understand what's affecting your ability to get in front of those people. Because here's the truth. If you have a business and you want to stay strong in this next season of opportunity, then now is always the best time to attract customers. The time to attract customers is now. It's like the saying that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So even if you've missed the boat a couple of times, today is the time to turn that around. So let's keep going. Your secret number 2, the real reason nobody's buying from you. I get it. You're all in business, so somebody's buying from you, but sometimes it feels like there just aren't enough people buying. So I want to break down 4 common reasons that I see sales aren't happening. The good news is that all these things can be fixed. All of these things, not that you're aware of them, are things that you can easily fix so that people are now buying from you all over again. The first reason people are not buying is that you're relying on passive lead flow. You're just waiting for prospects to come in. You're not taking any action. Imagine if you had a restaurant and you flipped the closed sign to show that you're open and nobody came in all day. Then you came in the next day, opened up the blinds, unlocked the door, flipped the open sign open again, and nobody came in. How many days would you let that go by? Probably not very many, right? At some point, you'd probably go out, hit the sidewalk, try to wave people in, put up some flyers. You would do something. And you wouldn't just sit there and wait for prospects to come in. I know people who ran their businesses that way. They ran on hot leads that were easy to sell, but they had no control over when those leads would come in. And the result is that sort of feast or famine cycle that so many businesses are familiar with. It's a little like this picture, right? You go to the doctor's office a few minutes early to fill out some paperwork, and then you wait some more. Other patients come in or get called back. It's that same feeling of frustration and uncertainty. One reason that people are not buying from you is you're waiting on them. They might not come. Relying on unpredictable lead flow It's a horrible way to run your business. So the second reason that you've not adjusted to today's buyer mind is that you've not adjusted to today's buyer's mindset. We're living in a world where a lot of buyers are coming with baggage. They've got tons of skepticism. We need to overcome that skepticism and build trust. I call this the trust tipping point. The trust tipping point is that moment in time when somebody's desire for a product or service turns into an absolute certainty. We've all done it. Have you looked on Amazon for a solution to a problem and you read reviews from somebody that who's already got the product and it works just perfectly for them, and that flips the switch. That's when you know you found the right product. That's when you've hit the trust tipping point. Everybody's tipping point's a little different, but some people are, an easy sell. You don't have to say much. But other people have tons of skepticism. Think about it. These people need clear proof that you understand their problem. They like to see social proof, like testimonials or case studies and reviews. They want to know the outcomes they can expect. They want a strong first impression, whether it's through your website design, the messaging. They want to be able to see themselves in your messaging. They want to know there's going to be some consistent follow-up and visibility. Transparency and pricing and how things work is really important. A personal connection. They want to feel like they can be your friend. They want a low risk entry point and some validation from peers or other respected sources. So customers want someone to solve their problem, but it's easy for them to get overwhelmed. It's something we say a lot. A confused buyer never buys, but an informed customer always does. Confusion plus uncertainty equals indecision. So if you want business today, you need to create clarity and certainty in the minds of your prospects. Just think, are you making an effort to do that? And where are you doing that so that people move forward with sales and purchases from you? The third thing here is you're not making enough offers. You're just not asking people for their business. You're assuming that they know you're there. You're assuming that they want something. If they want something, they'll ask for it. And when many people are just so busy with so many things, you really need to remind them that you're here. You need to stay top of mind with them. You need to educate them on the different ways that you can help and the different services that you provide that will result in more business for you. This is the open for business paradox. Imagine if you owned a farm and you sold at farmers markets, and you're like, geez, sales are down this month. And somebody asks how many markets you went to. And you tell them, well, no, normally I go to 3 or 4 a week, but this month I've only gone to 2. Well, duh, you can't make sales if you're not open for business, right? I know that's kind of a silly example. But the same thing happens all the time with other types of business. You have the mindset of, gosh, if they wanted it, wouldn't they ask? Especially if it's an existing customer. They know what I do. If they want more, they'll just ask for it. But I'll tell you this, if you're not making enough sales, you're probably not making enough offers. The king of marketing, his name is Dan Kennedy, said that just make more offers and you make more sales. Now, the fourth and last reason you don't have a real is that you don't have a real plan. You're just doing the see what sticks method. You're stuck at that. You're just throwing darts at different strategies. You don't know which ones are going to work and which ones don't. You don't know how they work together. And so many business owners have this syndrome. They try a little bit of this, a little bit of that. They throw money at random tactics and hope that something magically works. But there's no real plan, no real system. There's no way to measure what's actually moving the needle. So give me some dollar signs in the chat or say me if you feel like maybe that's been you in the past. Yep. See a couple in there. Definitely some dollar signs. Thanks. So there actually is a little known formula to building marketing networks. Let's take a look at that. And here's how it works in basic terms. You show up as credible and trustworthy to the people that find you. You get in front of all the people who are actively looking for you right now. Call those the hot buyers. And then you get visible in front of the people who are ideal prospects, but they're not looking just yet. If you could nail those three things, then you're going to crush it in business. It's that simple. And when things are simple, that's usually when they work. But I'm going to break this down with a little more clarity. Again, do you show up credible and trustworthy online? Because if you don't have that, it doesn't matter if you're showing up in front of other people, right? If they don't view you as trustworthy, you're not going to get the sales. Then two, are you in the spots where people can find you, especially the ones who are looking for you? And three, are you in the spots where people can find you who aren't looking for you? Because the inconvenient truth is if customers aren't buying, they're buying, but it's just not from you. And it's easily fixed with secret number three. So let's talk about how to find clients and customers who want your products and services right now. So why is a framework important? I love frameworks. I love them because sometimes you need all these different puzzle pieces in order for something to work. Have you ever seen a competitor that just seems to be crushing it, and maybe you're doing certain things that they tried doing? Like, well, you saw a video, so you put a video up, or you saw that your competitor uses bus bench ads, so you tried that too. That didn't seem to do so much. Or maybe you saw them advertising on Facebook, and so you put an ad on Facebook, and that didn't seem to do much either. And you start to get these thoughts that, well, I tried that already, and I saw what they did, I did it, and it didn't work, and so I'm not going to try that again. I've heard that a few times from business owners. So I'm going to catch up with my slides again. There we go. So I don't know this physically fit guy in the photo, but in my gym rat days, I knew people like him. While I was working out 5 days a week, maybe for an hour at a time, they just show up maybe 3 times a week, 45 minutes, and yet they always look better. Somehow their results were better than what I was getting from all my gym time. Well, I wasn't getting the whole picture. Those people were watching their diets or eating healthy foods that supported their workouts and taking walks during the day, making sure they got enough rest. I wasn't doing that. So my point here is that a holistic approach to being fit was getting them results that I was looking for. It wasn't just a single tactic. So how does that apply to marketing? Well, it's the same thing. Everybody wants one thing that you could do that's going to change everything. And I wish it worked that way. I hear prospects and clients say that they tried a strategy that I recommended and it didn't work. And just like me, compared to those other gym goers, they probably weren't implementing a full strategy that a competitor was or doing what was required to support that. Maybe they were doing SEO, but the reviews were terrible. Maybe they were doing SEO and doing okay with that, but their website looked out of date and unprofessional. So there's more that goes on here, and that's why I want to give you this framework. It's going to help tie all this together. I call this the customer activity roadmap. So most of my clients want this. They want more customer activity. And all I'm suggesting is that that's what you want. There's a logical set of steps that need to happen in order to get there. The very first step is that we need to have a strong marketing foundation. The job of the marketing foundation is to establish credibility. That credibility and trust is what's required to capture customers. Then we want to move into the active searchers. These are the people who are searching for you right now. I mean, I love these people because they're like the hot buyers. They're the ones with the credit card in hand, ready to buy. And the way to get in front of them is by creating visibility. You need to be in the spot where they're searching for you. Problem is, there are only so many people like that. For example, think about a pool builder. Some people woke up this morning and decided that they've had enough of the hot weather and they're just not going to go another summer without a pool. So they go online, search for some pool companies, and make some calls about getting estimates. Those people are awesome because guess what? The pool company just doesn't have to really sell them at all. They don't have to convince them that they need a pool. They're already there. But like an iceberg, those active searchers are the tip of the iceberg. Underneath, there are lots of people who woke up without that intention. Maybe they'd love to have a pool in their backyard, but they aren't thinking about it today. Might be because they have a small backyard and they think the pool won't fit. But if they saw a before and after shot from a similar sized yard with a pool, they might be like, wow, I could do that. Or maybe they don't think they could afford a pool, but if they were educated a little bit about the financing options, that could turn them into customers. Or maybe they think it's a long drawn out process, but if you let them know that it's only going to take X number of weeks, they might seem more manageable to them. I hope all that makes sense. So let's start with this marketing foundation. Or sorry. The marketing foundation is all about establishing credibility. To do that, we make sure we have a professional website, right? It's making sure that you have awesome online reviews and that at least your Google business profile is set up and ready to go. An enhanced strategy might be to do some social media posting as well. But all of those things are things that really establish your credibility as a business. If you don't have those foundational elements, it doesn't really make sense for you to move on to the next levels. So why is the marketing foundation so important? Well, without it, all the other marketing strategies will suffer or fail. So the four things that impact your foundation are your website, especially you want your website to look professional and you want it to clearly communicate what you do. You want to have an online reputation that shows you're a good company. You want to have a complete Google business profile that provides the information and actually shows you're in business. And then, of course, on social media, you're able to show the activity that's happening in your business. So here's some examples. Let's think of your website as a storefront. So imagine you went online looking for a place to eat. You found something with a menu that sounded interesting and you decided to try it. So you drive down and into the front of the building, and it looks like the place on the left. Chances are you're not going to have lunch there, right? Even though they were able to capture your interest and get you there, once you see what the storefront looks like, you decide, nope, you're not going to eat there. Now, compare that to the building on the right, which looks inviting, professionally designed, and well built. The same thing happens online. How many people are going to your site and saying, nope, I'm not doing business with this one? We've all done that. You go to a website and within a second, you formed an opinion about the business and how professional it is. We've all done it. You have to have a good looking website that represents who you are, represents your brand, and makes you feel good. I've known business owners who are embarrassed to hand out their business cards because their website wasn't up to snuff. If that's you, then it's definitely something you need to fix. And here's some examples of some better looking sites. So next is your online reviews. So these are like professional references. Remember when prospective clients and customers used to ask for references from other businesses you've worked with? That doesn't happen as much anymore because Amazon started teaching everyone to shop based on reviews. Google started putting reviews out there for businesses, and people are getting that information even before talking to you. They're not even going to call you if you don't have good reviews. If you've got a 2.7 review score, they don't want a sales proposal from you. So if you're not paying attention to your reviews, That might be one reason you're not getting the amount of customer activity that you would expect. So here's some stats on reviews. 93% of the people that took this survey from Right Local a couple years ago said they read online reviews about local business. 97% said they search for local business online. I don't think that's really a surprise to anybody anymore. In this survey, 85% said they trust online reviews as much as a personal recommendation. And 77% said that if the review is older than 3 months, it's not really relevant. You just can't grab some reviews from your favorite customers and then never ask for another review. They lose relevancy fast. And if people see their reviews are 2 or 3 years old, they might wonder if you're still in business. So reviews is something that you constantly need to attract people to your business. It's not a one-time event. It's a forever type thing. Most consumers look at 2 or more review sites before making a decision. So it's not just about Google. You might think of, might want reviews on sites like Facebook, Yelp, Better Business Bureau, and others. So to illustrate that point, I want to share a story that another agency owner shared with me. He's been a member of several business groups that encourage referrals, and a friend asked him if he knew any pediatricians. So the agency owner told him about a pediatrician that was in one of his business groups. The next time he met his friend, he asked if he had gone to the right physician. Well, no, the guy said. He had a 1.8 rating on Google. Why would I call him? So he kept searching online and found a pediatrician with much better reviews. This was a word of mouth referral that just didn't come through because of poor reviews. So after you have that strong marketing foundation, it's time to look for active searchers. These are the people who are looking for you right now, the hot buyers. So if somebody's searching, there's really only one spot they're doing that, right? It's Google. And there really are only 2 strategies that you can use to help get prospective buyers. First one is pay-per-click. You can be on top there of the search results. You can see that they all say ad in small letters, and you only have to pay when somebody clicks on the ad. So if you want the quickest, fastest way to get in front of people and hot buyers who are looking for you, pay-per-click is the way to go. The thing is, you always have to pay. Local SEO is leveraging strategies that allow you to get into that map pack that you see at the lower part of this page. This shows an example for a window replacement company in Tucson, Arizona. And it shows spots around Tucson where you could go. And you're seeing that right away. So again, pay-per-click is the top section. It says ad next to it. And then the advertising fee is paid every time someone clicks on the ad. As an advertiser, you can select a keyword or keyword phrases that you want to target and that you want to show up for. And you can set a daily budget, which is a nice feature. With local SEO, these maps and listings have local intent. Rankings can change based on relevance and geography. For example, if you're on one side of town, you might see different results than somebody who's on the other side of town. Google's trying to make it convenient for searchers to go somewhere close by. The other thing is that rankings are influenced by lots of factors, and there are a lot of things we can do to affect that. But once you're ranked in this map pack or in proximity to it, then you don't have to pay for the clicks. They're there organically. So to illustrate the idea that what searchers see is different depending on where they are, Google has this personalized search depending on where you are. You see different results. So sometimes when I'm talking to prospective clients about search, they'll reply that they're good. They searched for their name and they were right at the top of the results. Well, the reason that's happening is because of where you're searching. A company that has low visibility, you'll see all red, like on the left here. With medium visibility, you will see some greens and yellows around the business location, and then it turns to red. And with great visibility, you'll see greens all over the place. So this map represents a routine contactor who said he didn't need local search engine optimization. You can see the number one right in the middle there. That's where his office is. And you don't have to go very far away from his office to see red. Now, he doesn't want to do business just close to his office. There aren't that many homes. He wants to install roofs all over the area. So I'm able to run reports that help you look at this type of information everywhere. So you don't have to drive around town figuring out how you show up in results in different spots. So that's what I wanted to cover with active searchers. Let's talk a bit about passive prospects. These are the people who make great opportunities for what you have to offer, but they're not looking for you right now. And because they're not looking for you, that means we need to create awareness. Social media is a great way to create awareness. It can help you answer questions about whether you're open, what products and services you have, whether you have any special deals, events that you're having, those sorts of things. But there's a problem with this approach and when you're doing it on social, and that is that nobody's actually seeing those posts. Slowly but surely, Facebook has eliminated everyone's organic or unpaid reach because they've got so many businesses who are willing to pay to get in front of all those people. That's where Facebook billboard and boomerang ads come up. Facebook billboard ads, which are display ads basically, allow us to get our message in front of people that we're not connected to on Facebook, but match certain criteria. So I can say I only want homeowners to see this, or I only want homeowners in the top 10% of income because I build luxury pools and I'm only going to work with those wealthier people. Also, I can look for somebody who's married or who has children. Usually a business knows what their demographics are like, but if not, I can help them out with that. The key thing here is that unlike a roadside billboard, where 90% of the people who drive by just don't need whatever's on the sign, this is only being shown to people who are in your target audience, the people you want to work with. Then we have what we call boomerang ads, often known as retargeting ads. These are all about bringing back prospects. Now, I'm sure all of you have searched for something online, maybe a new bicycle, just for an example. And right after you visit a couple of bike websites, you start seeing ads for the brands you looked at. Everywhere you go, that bike is following you around. So these ads encourage you to come back or offer you a discount. These are the boomerang ads. The reason you see that so much is, well, it works, keeps your brand top of mind. So, for example, we could show these people who visited my website in the last 30 days, that they spend more than a minute on the site, and if they haven't filled a contact form. This is offering like the next step, saying, hey, you were looking on the site, but maybe life got in the way and interrupted your search. Come on back and schedule a quote. As a business, you know they were already there and spent a decent amount of time. So here's how the boomerang ads work. Starts with the user on the left. They go to your website and they either buy something or they don't. And when they don't, and they leave your site, they get a tracking code that's attached to their browser. And when they visit Facebook later on, Facebook shows an ad that takes them back to the website. And it kind of goes in that boomerang process as you go along. So I hope you're seeing the power of the framework that really does get customer activity. It covers everything that's needed, establishes trust and credibility, the marketing foundation. Then it leverages strategies designed to get in front of the hot prospects. And it leverages strategies designed to get in front of the hot prospects. And it leverages strategies designed to get in front of the hot prospects. And it leverages strategies designed to get in front of the hot prospects. And it leverages strategies designed to get in front of the hot prospects. And it leverages strategies designed to get in front of the hot prospects. And it leverages strategies designed to get in front of the hot prospects. And it leverages strategies designed to get in front of the hot prospects. And it leverages strategies designed to get in front of the hot prospects. And it leverages strategies designed to get in front of the hot prospects. And it leverages strategies designed to get in front of the hot prospects. And it leverages strategies designed to get in front of the hot prospects. And it leverages strategies designed to get in front of the hot prospects. And it leverages strategies designed to get in front And then it leverages more strategies sometimes to get in front of people who might not be looking for you right now, but are great candidates. So today we've covered three things that are required to help you acquire and activate customers who still need your services and products, even in today's unpredictable and competitive market. Those three things are secret one, number one. Now is the time. And we saw that with Google Trends. Number two, the real reason nobody's buying from you. And I'm sure that some of you fit one of those categories. Maybe there's just one or two things you need to tweak to get that flowing again. And then the final secret is how to find customers and clients who want your services and products right now. So I hope we came through and checked all the boxes as it relates to these three ideas and how you can fix your online strategy and approach business in order to attract and activate those customers. So go ahead and put in the chat, if you don't mind, what are some things you took away from today's training? What are the top three? Maybe it was just an idea, or maybe a shift in your belief around whether or not people are actually out there looking for you. Maybe it was the idea of having a framework or doing these digital marketing strategies in a certain order to get the results that you want. What was it for you? Go ahead and drop it in the chat. Right. Fundamentals are still essential. Thanks, Keith. Yep, reviews are really important. I preach that a lot. James knows that. Anyone else? Okay. Well, I mean, that's the end of the training. We're now at a point where you have two options. And I want to set you up for success. So you could take everything you learned today and go it alone, trying to figure this all out without any help. Or you can get it right the first time from somebody who's already figured it out and done it successfully. If you choose number two, that's the super smart decision. And here's why. What I'd like to do for everybody who took the time to be on this call, which I appreciate very, very much, I'd like to offer you a customized playbook for your situation. We talked about all of the things that are important. So inside all the things that are important. So what's required for a strong marketing foundation? What's required to get in front of active searchers? What's required to get in front of the passive prospects? And you understand those concepts. But what I can't give you today is I can't tell you about your situation specifically. So I'd like to do a site health report, shows you and show you which storefront you have, whether it's a good one or not so good or something in between. I can show you what your review situation is like and how it stacks up against your competitors. I can show you how many people are actually searching for you online, and I can show you a grid report that lets you know whether you're doing a good job with people who are not just right next to your business. And I can show you from Facebook's perspective, what's the opportunity for getting in front of your target demographic and give you some insight into how we might tap into that. So this is a valuable and insightful report. It takes a lot of time for me to put these together, but I believe in providing value to the people who come into my world, and that's you, especially since you spent the last hour with me. And I'd love an opportunity to share a playbook with you. So here's how to get your customized playbook. Just go to go.whitmarkdigital.com/playbook. You can use the playbook in a couple different ways. You can take what I give you and hand it off to a tech savvy or marketing savvy person that you might have on staff and say, hey, take a look at this. Is there something you can implement here? That's one outcome. You could take the playbook and just try to do it yourself. It might be challenging, and I don't recommend that because your time is best spent working in your own zone of genius doing the thing that you're skilled at and the best at, and that you're best at in your business. Your time is much more valuable if you focus on that. And the last thing you could do is talk to me about my marketing services if you really want to, if you really want to focus on your area of genius. This frees you up to do that, and it allows me to do what I do, and you to focus on what you do to get results. Any of those options are available. So, what's the alternative? You've learned about why you might not be getting the customer activity you want. You shouldn't have to go figure this all out by yourself. Keep in mind that I've been working in digital marketing for the last 15 years, and I can apply that experience plus the expertise of the collective weather marketing expertise. So if you decide to go this alone and waste a lot of hours when you could just get started and at least get some insight as to what's wrong, then you're going to potentially waste time and money. Or you could get started, see some results, and hit a plateau, or worse, break something, along the way, and ask me to fix it, which I'm happy to do. But sometimes picking up the pieces is more difficult for any agency. So go ahead, get your customized playbook, and just put your name, email, and phone number in there. Again, it's go.whitmarkdigital.com/playbook. I'll schedule a time just to ask you some questions about your business, and then I'll take some more time to put together a playbook and deliver it to you. I mean, whatever, just take the next step. If you don't, uh, you've already invested an hour of your time, and you know this is important, and I'm going to give you something that's some even more value that's specific to your situation. So take me up on the offer, get your playbook. And if you don't, just promise me you do one thing, just do something. You've been exposed now to some gaps that might exist in your business. And now you might be seeing that you need to shift something if you want to get more customer activity in your business. And if it's not with me, promise me you'll do something. Things will never go back the way they were. You have to do something, and I hope you'll do that by ordering a playbook. So it's time for Q&A. I'd love to answer any questions, or if you're ready to go ahead and get your playbook, just go to go.whitmarkdigital.com/playbook. Anybody have questions? Well, thanks, James. You're welcome, Rachel. Sandy's always too nice. Thanks for showing up, Michael. Appreciate it. Oh, we came in just under an hour. Not bad. Hi, Lisa. Thanks, Paige. Me too. Thanks, Alice. Hi, Valerie. Any questions about anything? Okay, Adam. So everything's based on, well, if you have just a purely digital business, is it a service business or e-commerce? What are we talking about here, Adam? So to get into a gray area, I'll be honest. Um, it's good to have a Google business profile, no matter what your business. But if you have to kind of need to look at slightly altered strategies if you're not, localized to a certain area. So am I understanding that right? It's not really, um, yeah, okay. So I hope that makes sense. It's not really a good answer. It's sort of it's a typical marketing, it depends answer. But, I'd be happy to talk to you more about it and see what we can figure out. Just sign up for a playbook and see where it goes. That's right, Keith. So it's not really that different, Joe. I mean, you have a service to offer businesses, and it's not really, marketing to businesses isn't that much different than marketing to consumers. In every case, you're just marketing to people. So you just need to figure out where your audience is, how they're searching for your service, and then uh, put your information out there. Anyone else? All right. Well, I really, really appreciate all of you showing up for this. It's it's kind of a special moment for me, and thank you for all your time and everything, all the responses that you put into the chat. Again, I really appreciate it. Um, I hope to get some requests from you for playbooks. But even if I don't, again, I really appreciate your time and thanks for being here. And I think that's all for now. Thanks, everyone.